Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, December 10th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, perfect. So as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Going down to the 30-minute. And 1 minute. And we are good to go. All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, December 10th. It is 6:27 right now. Market's gonna open in about 3 minutes. So I've marked up liquidity over here. We have a ton of liquidity on both ends. We have liquidity above at 44,432, and we have liquidity down below at 44,376. So those are the two closest levels of liquidity to current price. Looking over here at the breakout. So I'll know the direction of the breakout shortly. Actually, I already know the direction. I'll let you guys know in about a few more moments. Just a reminder, guys, I'm not taking the breakout today. Reason for that is because we lost a trade yesterday. So I'm following the risk off plan. We had two back-to-back losses on Friday and then Monday. So in order for me to take a trade, I need to have one win before I can get back into the market. So in order to conserve my capital, I'm not taking the breakout for today. Breakout for today is going to be a sell, just a heads up before we get to that point. I'm using the updated model, so breakout for today is going to be a sell. Looking over here at the overall direction of trend, we have a bearish trend for the 4-hour, bearish trend for the 1-hour, bearish trend for the 30-minute, bearish trend for the 10-minute, and bearish trend for the 5-minute. 1 minute over here is shifting to the upside, but it may easily shift back down into a bearish trend to align with the higher time frames. So the breakout for today is going to be a sell, guys. Again, I'm not taking the breakout. If you guys want to take it, feel free to take it, but I'm not taking it because I'm following my risk off plan. Since we had two back-to-back losses from Friday and Monday, I have to wait until we have one win until I can take any more trades. So I'm just gonna sit tight, let this kind of trade play through. But again, the breakout for today is going to be a sell. I'm following the new model. If you guys want to take the original model with momentum specifically, then you can take a buy. It's going to be opposite. But if you guys remember the market from yesterday, it didn't matter which direction price pushed, whether it pushed up or it pushed down, or whether you took a buy or a sell, the trade still lost because the market was very choppy and rangy. So there's no direction on open. And that's why I'm sitting out of the market, because I'm just waiting for some volatility to actually inject into the market. Looking at the ATR right now, it's very low, 8 ATR. So just keep that in mind, guys, when you guys do take this entry, if you do plan on taking it. Again, the entry for today is going to be a sell, so it's up to you guys if you guys want to take it or not. I will follow it for you guys, and we'll kind of see where this goes. So we got market opening up in about 20 seconds, guys. Going over here to our clean chart. Got a couple levels right here. Again, breakout for today is going to be a sell, guys, if you guys are looking to take it. Market is opening in 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. So there goes a breakout right there. Again, I'm not in this position, but we are going to follow it. So there goes the breakout entry. Again, guys, if you guys are just joining the room, just a heads up, I'm not taking the breakout. The breakout is running in profits for a sell today. It's halfway to full TP. Got some decent volatility here, but the ATR is still a little low. 14 ATR. So there we go. Price hit liquidity down below. If you guys took any of these levels of liquidity right here, depending if you want, I'd probably go for 10 points because the volatility is so low right now. First one hit, second one hit, third one hit, the last one over here is still running. So all levels of liquidity down there got hit. Last one's still running though. All right, breakout is still running, guys. The breakout is running in profit right here. The ATR is really low, surprisingly, for market open. ATR is currently at 15 ATR right now, which is very, very unusual. Yeah, I don't know what's with the ATR right now. It's just super, super low. It's 22 actually. It's still pretty low. So I'm hoping this comes down and hits TP, because once this comes down and hits TP, I can take the breakout tomorrow. If this doesn't come down and hit TP, I'm gonna have to hold off again for another day. Before I can hop into these breakouts. The problem with the market lately, and you guys can see here, there's not really much of a direction, right? I mean, price will spike in a direction, but it's not really continuing that way how it should be. It's supposed to typically when price opens, it's supposed to spike right to TP or a spike right to stop loss, right? That hasn't been the case lately. Lately, it's been kind of just going back and forth. Like yesterday, the trade's been running. It ran for a while before it actually chose some sort of direction. Didn't even choose a direction during the live session time. But again, we are pushing down, hoping the trade does hit here because, again, like I said, I'm following the risk off plan, so I'm not taking any breakouts right now. I'm waiting for one win before I take the next breakout. So this here needs to win before I can take the trade tomorrow. Again, price is still running down. It's on its way to its TP. Liquidity right there got hit, guys. So if you guys took any levels of liquidity down here, they all got hit for TP. This one, this one, this one, and this one right here. All full TPs. So 4 levels of liquidity right there, which have hit full TP. And now we're just waiting for the breakout here to hit its full TP as well. It's almost down there. It got up to, let's see, 86 points. So we just need this volatility here to pick up. Breakout's almost on its way down. Here is the clean chart. So it looks like we're finally getting at least some movement here, but still not as strong as we need it to be. There we go. Breakout's almost there. There we go. Full TP for the breakout today, guys. It would be the breakout that we didn't take, but full TP for the breakout today. So this is a good sign that shows that volatility is back in the market. There's a direction. So this is how the breakout should play out. You know, yesterday the breakout was like went deep in profit, and then it pulled back, and then it pulled back down, and then it went straight up, and then it hit stop loss, and then it came right back down, right? That's not the type of market we like. We like this type of market. We want market where volatility is consistent and it stays in one direction. Right here, it pushed down and it dropped straight to TP. So if you guys take the breakout right there, I'll just add this to the criteria. Now that we've had that breakout hit, we can now take the next breakout. All right. So there goes the breakout. Very nice breakout right there, full TP, no drawdown at all. Now that we have this, I'll be taking the breakout tomorrow. So if you guys took that, nice work. Otherwise, we will continue looking for next possible entry up. So Brett was asking if this was a BB3. So it was a BB3, but I think it's overextended, Brett, because it pushed down like 100 points from this top end. Well, more actually, like 150 points. So I would consider that overextended. I mean, if you still want to take it, you can set a pending sell stop down there. And then you can catch it if it comes back down. So you can set like a sell stop right here. And if it drops further, you can come back and take it. If it doesn't come back down, you just cancel it. But I do think it's overextended, because this did drop down like, 150 points from this upper higher high. So it's like due for retracement. All right, so let's see. Let me see if I can find that setup that I was talking about yesterday, guys. So we currently have a sell signal. If you see a staircase to the downside, like if you see the delta here starts to drop lower, like we have negative delta and it starts to go heavier and heavier, that'll show that the sellers are back in control or still in control. If it doesn't happen and you have a buy side to the push to the upside, then the buyers may be back in control. So it just kind of depends on like what happens here with regard to the order flow. So we'll look at the footprints. We currently have a sell signal. So what you want to look for here is negative delta. You want to see if the sellers are still in control right now. It's not looking like it. Price is swinging all the way back up, which again is completely fine. But we'll follow through with this here. All right, so here goes the, it looks like price is probably going to range within this middle area. So if you guys missed the mentoring session from yesterday, I do highly recommend you guys go and review it, because we covered a lot of stuff. One thing that I think was really important was market transition. So if you remembered from yesterday's mentoring session, guys, market transitions between a directional market, a sideways market, and a breakout market, right? So for example, right here, we had a very nice breakout market. What tends to happen after a breakout market? It's either going to turn directional or it's going to turn sideways, right? So if you're to just focus on just like this little area right here, and then now you focus on this little area right here, what's going to happen next is price is going to go sideways. Or it looks like it's going to go sideways, right? So after price is done going sideways, what happens after price goes sideways? It's either going to go directional or it's either going to break out. So price is probably going to go sideways here for a bit. And what you can look out for is the breakout or directional push to the upside, or a breakout or directional push to the downside. So if you guys didn't see that mentoring session yesterday, I think it's, if you just want to watch the first part of it, I think that's like super, super important, because I put I put a chart up there and I kind of showed you guys the market transitions so that you guys can understand what happens after things like this. You know, once a breakout happens, typically what happens after is either going to be a sideways market where price is going to consolidate a range, or it's going to move directional. Right here, obviously price is going sideways, right? So you can already anticipate the market structure. Now that you know that market's going sideways, this means, okay, what do I do now? I just sit tight and wait until some sort of confirmation happens where price starts to move directional again. Because like I said during the session yesterday, I mainly trade directional strategies. So if the market's going sideways right here, this means there's no entries for me, unless you are applying sideways entries, which would be a high level momentum scalp. It can be a V1 variation in the direction of the trend. It can be a consolidation variation. It can be a lot of things, but at this point right here, you don't want to take market flows. You don't want to take breakout V3 continuations. You don't want to take certain entries. And again, that's like another reason why I would have held off on the BV3 right here, Brett, because it just doesn't make sense to take it right now because of the the current market structure that we're currently in, which is a consolidating sideways market. Yeah, no, definitely. Lila said it was an awesome session. Thanks, and a great breakout. Yeah, breakout today was good. So if you guys took that breakout, nice work. If you guys did it, again, we're gonna sit tight, wait for the market structure here to kind of reveal what's gonna happen next, and then from there we'll continue trading. So I'm gonna go up to the 1 hour time frame right here. I'm gonna mark up SR zones, support and resistance. There's no support down here. Like on the higher time frame daily, nothing down here. 4 hour. Surprisingly enough, there's like no zones down here. 2 hour. 1 hour. Yeah, weird. 30-minute. All right, so it looks like we'll probably have to wait for the zones here to establish because there's just no zones around this area right now. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. All right, so we'll come back to the SR chart a little later. Here's a clean chart. So as you guys can see, price is still kind of going sideways right here. Not really too much to work with at the moment. So the main thing that you want to look for, so I'm trying to profile the market structure here. Obviously, the market structure here looks like it's attempting to move directional. And you can see a slight shift in the direction of price. So one thing that we want to look for here is whether price is going to stay below this area here. If price stays below this area, then this can shift between from a sideways market to now directional. So we gotta confirm and see what's going to happen here next. If price stays below this area, so what can happen here is we had the breakout, price consolidated slightly right here. This could have been another breakout to another consolidation. This is why you need to understand how the market structure works, because breakout to the downside, consolidation. This doesn't mean price is directional. This just means that price broke out again slightly, and it's going sideways again down here. I'm looking at the order flow over here. The order flow doesn't really show delta on the sell side. It's kind of just going back and forth. Like we have a strong sell delta here, then it's a buy delta, then a strong sell delta, then a buy delta, then a strong sell delta, or not a strong sell delta, but -29. And you can see here price is pushing back up. So if price can't hold the structure down here, then you can see price is starting to establish a sideways market, right? Like we already thought price was sideways right here, but now it's coming down, it's creating a bigger range. So again, like I said earlier, guys, if you guys are looking to trade anything right here, we're currently in a sideways market structure. So in a situation like this, you probably want to sit tight and just wait unless you're applying sideways strategies like a high level momentum scalp. Currently right here, we have a lower low. So if this candle breaks and closes past pivots 1 and 2 with a buy signal, this is going to be a high level momentum scalp. But if it doesn't, then you probably just want to sit tight and wait for the market to move directional. The order flow over here is showing that the buyers are trying to get in control. So you can see we have a pending buy signal here. The delta over here went from negative 149 to 14 to negative 29 to 124, and now it's pushing back up higher, which is completely fine. If that's the case and we get a buy signal here, then this might be a correction back to open. But looking at the market here right now, so again, right here on the clean chart, I'm going to show you guys right here that we have, so I'm going to color code the market structure. So for the breakouts, I'm going to color them green so that you guys understand like what's the market structure moving from. So it started with a breakout right here, and then it ended right here, and it started to go into consolidation. Consolidation, I'm going to color it orange. So it went from green breakout to orange consolidation or range sideways, doesn't matter. So I'll just say breakout sideways. And then once it breaks out of the sideways movement, I will mark it as, I guess we'll just color it blue. So that you guys have an idea of like how market structure is changing. I think this is going to help you guys a lot because once you guys can see the market structure, if you guys can understand what's happening in the market, you guys can understand what strategies to use and you can understand when to trade and when not to trade. So right now, obviously, it's not a good time to trade because price is going sideways unless you're trading a sideways strategy. So what you can look for here, if you do want to trade a sideways strategy, is you can trade the top and bottoms, right? So you can look for a V1 variation. You can look for like a double body rejection or a rejection off structure like this right here. And then you can ride this back down. You can just trade within the range basically. So you can see your price is going sideways. But if price breaks out of it, then we'll color this a different color, right? We'll color it back to blue. And then from there, you can start taking directional entries. But not quite. We're going to wait for this here to confirm first. So this will help train your eyes to look for certain things in the market. This green one's going to show you breakout started. Orange one's going to show you consolidation range started. And then once this breaks out of this area, I'll color it blue. And then you can start looking for directional entries like market flow V2s, V1 variations, stuff like that. Okay, so there's a high level momentum scalp here that just came up, guys. So I said earlier, if you wanted to take that, there was a lower low. Buy signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2. And there's a high level momentum scalp that came up right there. Thanks, CJ, for calling that out. So nice quick little TP right there for high level momentum scalp. If you're taking for 10 points, that would have hit. If you're taking for 30 points, it's still currently running right now. So it's breaking out of this sideways move. We'll see if the direction is confirmed. So overall trend here is still bearish. 4 hours bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish. The 1 minute is also bearish, but it's swinging to the upside. We'll see if it actually holds. If it doesn't hold, it may come right back down. So again, I'm looking for the order flow footprint over here to show me that the buyers are actually in control because it's not looking like it right now. We had a buy signal right here. The delta was 87, negative 32, negative 44. At this point, it shows that the sellers are starting to push back. They're trying to take control here. So we'll see. Even though this candle here was green, there's more sellers right here than buyers. So I'm not in this position right here. I'll just mark it up as a partial high-low momentum scalp. We'll come back and see if it hits, but if it doesn't hit, then we'll leave it as partial. But I just marked this up right here so that you guys have an idea of like what entry came up there. So back to our clean chart over here. So there's no confirmation of direction yet, guys. So like I said earlier, until we have confirmation of push to the upside, so once we get price break above and climb up higher, then I'll color it blue. But if not, this here is still, it's still in a range right now. It's still in the sideways market, right? So until we get confirmation, I'll just leave this here so that you guys understand, okay, it's not time to take these directional moves yet. You can still take entries, but you want to focus on the sideways entries versus the directional ones right now. Yeah, Drew said smelling a trap. I agree. That's what I see too. That's why I haven't like confirmed it yet. Because when you confirm the directional shift, you need to make sure that price is actually climbing and climbing up higher. Like once price gets to this point over here, then I'll close off the sideways move. But right now, price is still going sideways. So we're still right here in a sideways market. Kind of unusual that the market's been moving like this lately. Let me check other assets like NQ. So NQ is kind of similar. I mean, it pushed it up in the opposite direction, then it came right back down. So it's in consolidation as well. Check ES. Same thing with ES. ES is still going sideways too. Price came down for the breakout, consolidated, retraced up. Now it's coming back down. All right, so we're still in the sideways market right here, guys. So again, another reminder, if you guys didn't see the mentoring session yesterday and you don't understand like why I'm breaking these up into different market structure zones, just review the session because I'm here and I'll put them up here again. So market structure transitions. So these are the different types of market structure transitions. So you can go from breakout to directional, breakout to sideways. It can go from sideways to breakout, sideways to directional, go from directional to sideways. So these are the different market structure transitions. So you can see over here, we went from breakout, right? The green line is breakout. So price broke out to this area and then it went to sideways. So we're currently in this market structure right here. Or yeah, we're currently in this market structure from breakout to sideways. Now that we're in sideways, what can happen next? Sideways to breakout, sideways to directional, right? So price is going to break out of this area at some point. Once it breaks out of this area, then we can start looking for possible entries. But you can see over here, went from breakout to sideways, sideways to sideways still. And then it's going to break out eventually. So you can see our price is going back and forth within this area. But eventually price is going to break out in the other direction, right? It's either going to break out to the upside, or it's going to move directional to the upside, or it's going to break out to the downside, or move directional to the downside. Once that happens, so once you have a confirmation of a directional push, we'll move on to this market structure down here, or we'll go from this structure sideways to directional, and then from directional to sideways. So once market goes into a directional structure, you can look for directional entries until market goes back sideways. So you have like a good little period to take at least 1 or 2 entries before price goes back into a sideways move, right? So this is why it's always important to understand market structure, because if you don't understand market structure, then you'll be taking breakouts during sideways markets, you'll be taking directional moves during sideways markets, you'll be taking sideways strategies during directional markets. So it's really key that you guys understand this, and that's why I'm like color coding it here so it's easy for you guys to see. Because once you guys understand market structure, it just pretty much opens up a whole different world for you guys because you won't be taking dumb trades because you know exactly what to look for. I feel like that's what happens with a lot of people is like most people don't understand how to read market structure. And then when you don't know how to read market structure, you just end up taking any strategy at any given time, right? And that doesn't work because you're not supposed to use every strategy at every given time. You're supposed to use a specific strategy for specific market structure. So we'll continue looking for opportunities here. But again, if you guys are just joining in, the breakout hit full TP right here for 100 points. And that's about it. We haven't really seen much. There was a high-low momentum scalp that came up right here. It was for a partial 10 points. I mean, it was trying to push up to full TP for 30 points, but obviously price retraced back down right here. And it was a partial 10 points. Again, like I was saying earlier, guys, price is still going sideways right here. So we're currently in a sideways market structure. So what you want to look for here is you want to look for price to break out of this area and climb up higher and climb up higher. So basically you want a double confirmation. You first want it to break above and then confirm that it breaks up even higher. Once you have that, then okay, great. You can start looking for that directional push. Same with the opposite direction, right? Price comes down, look for it to retrace, come back lower. And that's what you want to look for here. Until you have that, price here is still going to be sideways. So once you see me draw a blue line on the chart, that's where you can confirm that, okay, price is now moving directional. Green's going to be breakout, orange is going to be sideways, and then blue is going to be directional. So just got to give it some time, guys. There's just no market structure here. This is why I prefer to stick to the breakout. So, we talked about this yesterday, and we talked about this morning. I don't like, well, I still like to scalp, of course. Scalping is my thing, right? That's what I like to do. But the problem with this here is that we don't have a market structure for scalping. This is a sideways market. I mean, you can take trades in both directions. Like, for example, the high-low scalp right here, high-low momentum scalp. But the problem with this here is that the market volatility is so low that you can't really go for those full moves. Like the 100-point moves or the 30-point moves and up are going to be really difficult to hit because, by the time you get to like 10 points or 15 points, price ends up pushing the other way and just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. You can see over here, it's pretty obvious where price is bouncing from. It's bouncing from this 350 mark and this 300 mark. It's a 50-point range, very small range. So again, if you guys want to trade sideways strategies, you guys can trade these bounces. You can trade the tops and bottoms. Me personally, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you guys want to trade that way, feel free to trade that way. So looking over here at order flow, it is kind of flattening out. Let's see, Jackson said, feels like every year trading gets harder. I think it gets harder if you're not consistent, right? For me, I feel like it actually got easier because I just changed I just kind of changed the way that I'm like approaching the market. So like before, like right now, if you're just looking for scalps, it would seem harder because there's no market structure, right? And I can see what you mean by that. There's no directional push. So you're not going to see a bunch of directional entries like we used to in the past, right? For me, I feel like it got easier because I adapted from more focus on scalps and more focus on the breakouts. So for me, I'm pretty much done trading already because the breakout here hit full TP. Like I just adapt with the market structure or I adapt with the market conditions. If the market's not really moving directional, then, I focus mainly on the breakouts because the breakouts typically going to happen. But yeah, I feel what you're saying, Jackson. Like it does feel harder with regard to scalps, but it's just we're not in a type of market where the market's moving very directional. It just, it sucks because even for the breakouts, like yesterday was tough because you could have taken the breakout for a buy or you could have taken it for a sell. It would have lost either direction. So what I'm looking forward to is next year. So once Trump is like in the office, I think the market volatility will pick back up. I think that's what you're used to, Jackson. You're used to like COVID trading, Trump trading, when the market volatility was like super high and we get price, like it would range, but it would range like crazy, like super high like this. Or you'd see market just go straight up, or you see market go straight down. That's like Trump economics. So, I think you just gotta wait for and again right here you can see price starting to move up. At this point, I'm going to cut off or I'm gonna wait first. I'm gonna wait, but I'm gonna cut it off at this point as of now and see if the market here still starts to go directional. We need to see a confirmation though. So even though price is pushing up right here, we need it to actually push up, retrace, and climb up higher. But yeah, Jackson said, yeah, back when you used to be on the 3 minute, those were the days. Yeah. Because the volatility was so high back then, we couldn't even trade on the 1 minute, right? We had to trade on the 3 minute time frame because it was just moving too fast. Those were the Trump days. So we'll see next year once Trump is fully in office and we have everyone who's now in control. I think the volatility should pick back up. But we'll see. I don't want to get too excited and then hope that the market here is going to start moving directional again. Because like right now, depending on what time frame you're on, you're going to see the same thing. Even if we go back to the 3 minute here, you can see price still going sideways. All right, so we got price breaking structure. Do you guys understand what happened right here? We had this green line here as a breakout to the downside. Market started going sideways right here. I colored this orange, and now price is moving into a directional market. So price here, or I wouldn't say this is necessarily directional. This might be a breakout market. So if we don't get a confirmation, so say for example here, price doesn't push up, retrace, and push up higher, then this is not going to be a directional shift. This is actually going to be a breakout. And then when it goes to breakout, again, right here, you can see there's two different options after this. It'll go from breakout to directional, breakout to sideways. So we actually don't have a confirmation here of a directional move yet. This boxed area right here is sideways. Price broke out of the area right here. You can see where it broke out of this upper level of resistance right there. Here we go, as price pushes up higher from where it's currently at. Here's one thing that I noticed too from, so this doesn't always work, but this is something to look out for, guys. If you guys like to take high-level momentum scalps, one thing that I noticed yesterday, I was testing this out. See how price broke and closed past this lower high right here? If the upper part of the body, so if you're getting a high low, this is actually triple confluence, so I missed out on this. I don't know if anybody caught that, but this was a triple confluence right here. I didn't realize there was a buy signal there. But if you guys look at this here, whenever the body, so see the body candle right here? If the body breaking above the high low is bigger than the lower body, like it's a pretty obvious big body, it tends to be considered a breakout move where price ends up pushing up higher. So I was going to implement this into a strategy, but I need to test it a little more. I mean, it's already a strategy. It's a high-low scalp, but this had a buy signal, so it's a triple confluence. But I know for some of you guys here who like to take these high-low scalping trees, look for this pattern. So when you're looking for price to break and close past that high-low, look for the body to be bigger on the breaking side. So if the body's bigger on the breaking side, it's usually confirmation that price is going to push through it stronger. So let me see if there's like another example here. But it's something that I noticed yesterday. I was like, damn, this is actually really good. I should be using this, or I should be like having this as a confluence for the so again, right here, here's another one. Here's a high low right there. See how this red candle broke and closed past it, and the lower body is bigger than the upper body? See how it came down super hard? So just something to keep in mind, guys. Like I told you guys yesterday, I'm not going to gatekeep these strategies, but if I find something good, I'll show you guys because it helps me. So if you guys test it out and you guys actually use it, you guys can tell me if it works really well long term. Again, right here, this candle over here. No, actually not that one. But yeah, that's something to look out for. It's got to be a very obvious candle, though. It can't be like a evenly sized candle. It's got to be something like this, where the upper area is like way bigger than the lower body. So just keep that in mind, guys. Whenever I find stuff, I'll let you guys know. so that you guys can take advantage of it. But that does make a difference for sure. You just got to be paying attention to it. It's hard. Like you have to really be paying attention to that specific entry. Like if you want to take high-low scalps, you have to like really focus on just high-low scalps because a lot of times they'll come up and you won't even notice. Like if price decides to climb up higher from this point, you can focus on this higher high right here and see if price breaks and closes past that level and actually pushes up higher from there. All right, looking at this here, let's see what else we got. And there's another breakout V3 continuation right here too. So there's entries coming up, guys. I'm just not really spotting them because they're happening so quickly. So this was a triple confluence. I'll just mark this up so that you guys know what entries are coming up here, and we'll mark this up as well in the stats for today. Not entries that I've taken, but just entries that came up. I'll just abbreviate them so they're not like filling up the whole chart. So there's actually 3 entries that came up right there. There's a high-low momentum scalp right here, triple confluence, high-low scalp, breakout V3 continuation. Let's see, question from Jackson. Jackson is asking, strong green candle breaking that level would be directional or you wait for retest? So I wouldn't consider it directional, not yet. Because you can see our price is back into a sideways market. So let me draw another line right here. Okay, so you guys can see here the market structure changes, right? So price came down super hard right here. This was the breakout entry that we took. That was the one that we took right here for a sell. So there was a breakout entry that came up. Price went sideways. Price broke back up, and now it's going back sideways. So you guys see how I marked this up here so that you guys can see things a little bit better. It makes a lot more sense now because you guys can see the transitions between market structure. Breakout, sideways, breakout, sideways. In order for it to be directional, like you said, Jackson, we would need to see something like this. We would need price to break above, retest, break above, retest. You're basically looking for like a second retest. So if you see price push up, like say, for example, right here, now it's pushing up like you just said. If it pushes up right here and then it retests and then it pushes up, then we can identify that as a directional market. Once we have that market, like realistically, this is all you're waiting for. You're just waiting for price to break out of this area, confirm some sort of directional move. And then once it confirms that directional move, you can start looking for actual scalp entries. Right here is just tough because you guys can see you can take sideways entries, but it's really easy to get faked out in areas right here. Because you can see these breakout candles, they only last for like a few. So this one over here lasted for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sideways move. 1, 2, 3, 4, sideways. So like typically what you can do if you want to catch these breakout moves is you want to look for price to break past the structure. So for example, like this could have been the first candle for price to break out. And then the second candle would have been this one right here because you would have seen that break the body. Like I was saying over here, let me see. Not that one, but this one. So you would have seen this one over here. So the breakout started up here, but you could have got it in on this candle right here. because this candle would have showed you, okay, price is actually going to continue dropping from that point. So this is that strong momentum candle that we were just talking about. It's not a momentum signal, but it's a momentum candle because the body below is way stronger than this one. So like you were saying right now, Jackson, if price breaks past that area, like you just said, like breaks past this higher high and the body's bigger on the top end, then you can use that as a confluence, like, okay, a breakout's about to start. Because that's the same thing that happened right here, right? So see how the breakout started right here on this candle, or this candle actually? It was breaking the structure, and this candle right here was bigger. So same thing again right here. We have I wouldn't consider this because the body was actually below it already. But yeah, so what I would say is, if you're looking for price to break out again, like for example, price could be breaking out right here. Look for it to break past the structure. So say, I wouldn't say that one right there. So what I would want to see here is I actually would want this to retrace back up. I would want this to push back up and then come back down, but with a really strong bottom body. So if this body right here is bigger than this body, see how it's breaking this whole number, 350? If this breaks past this area and this body below it's bigger, then you can expect this to come down further. So I actually want this to retrace back up. I want this to push back up and then come back down very strong. If it comes back down very strong like that, then I'm expecting this to come down further. And we can identify this as another breakout back to the downside. Unless there's another structure down there. There's no high lows down here. The closest high low is going to be way down here. So what I'd like to see is I'd like to see this push up and then come back down. Yeah, like above this 350 right here. So I want it to fake out. I want a fake out to happen right here. Pull back up and then come back down really strong where the body's going to be like this. See how the lower body is like small, but the upper body is big? I want to see that same pattern right here. And if we have that, then I can see this and there we go, it's perfect. So it's starting to set up just like I mentioned. So I want this to push up a little higher, close back above the 350 and then come down very hard. If it comes down really hard, then this is going to be a breakout setup. And then I'm going to be looking for this here to come down even further. Reason because we have a sell signal here already. Looking at the order flow. So we had a sell signal here. I'm looking for order flow to come back down. And then we get some confirmation there. Yeah, Sam said there's a V1 variation right here. There is a V1 variation right there. I think this would be just risky in my opinion because the overall direction is still bearish. So I would look for V1s to the bottom side. But yeah, that is a V1 variation. And it's also a fake out. So it could have worked out right there if anybody decided to take that. Thanks, Sam, for calling that out. I just think it's a little risky because it's, opposite direction of overall direction of bias or a trend at least. And there was another high-low momentum scalp right here, guys. So there's a higher high right here. The sell signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2. And this right here was a high-low momentum scalp. There's a lot of entries that are coming here. These are all sideways entries. So thanks, Daniel, for mentioning that. So this is actually a full. There's sideways entries that are coming up. It's just, like I said, I don't like trading sideways entries. So I'm not much of a sideways trader. If you guys want to take it, you guys can. I just don't personally trade sideways entries very much. So there's a couple things here to look out for. Like I said earlier, I'm hoping it stays above. Yeah, so it does stay above right here. So there's a couple things that can happen here. If you see a big red candle come below this point, then I would expect it to drop further. There's two different things you can look for. So if you're just looking at these whole numbers, you can look at it right here. Or if you're looking at this over here for a high-low scalp, this can also set up for a high-low scalp to the downside. And like Drew mentioned, so this entry right here at the bottom would have been a V1 variation, plus it would have been a CV pattern because we had a low right here, and then this candle here was smaller. Right, it's a double body rejection, but this one was smaller, so this would be considered a CV pattern. It was basically two entries in one. You can see the volatility here is very low. All right, let's see the pattern over here if they have when it moves. It actually works pretty well. Small numbers. So this right here, guys, I wouldn't consider this a breakout. I think I would just consider this a big consolidation area. So I was waiting for the confirmation here for price to break out lower, but realistically, this is just a big consolidation area. So we had, I mean, I don't know even know if I would, actually, I would leave this. So breakout consolidation, breakout consolidation. Price is still within the consolidation right here. I was going to identify this as a breakout, but I mean, the breakout just didn't play through, right? It just kind of stayed right there. So like now that we've confirmed that the breakout didn't actually push through, we can confirm that we're still in this consolidation phase. So you guys see how this starts to make a lot of sense right here? Because if you can identify breakout into consolidation, breakout into consolidation, right here, we're still in the consolidation. So what happens after consolidation? It's either going to be a breakout or a sideways or a directional move. So now that we have this here, I mean, you can anticipate that once this is done consolidating or ranging, it's going to have to move in one direction, right? It's going to break out or it's going to move directional. So you can look for two different things. You can look for price to push down very hard and confirm the breakout, or you can look for price to directionally push in this direction for a directional entry. But you guys already know. So like now that you know that you're in this consolidation phase, what to expect here is going to be a breakout or a directional push. It doesn't matter. They're pretty much the same thing because you're going to be moving out of this specific area. So whenever price is then going sideways, look for the push to the upside, look for the push to the downside. Yeah, so you just said I noticed it on the higher time frames. That's why I took those high level momentums. Yeah, nice. Definitely. All right, guys, I'm gonna step away for 1 second. I'm just gonna grab some water real quick and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So looking at the market here, we're still going sideways. I mean, it's kind of what I expected for today. Wasn't expecting too much here to play through. Look at the order flow footprint here. If this number, so we're looking for a delta that's higher than 28. Currently 28 right now. If this is higher than 28, we can look for another higher one after that, and this could be a possible continuation to the upside. It's kind of a weak candle, so it might not hold. Nice, nice. So Sam over here is holding the V1 from support. Nice work, Sam. Yes, we caught the V1 there and he's holding on to it as it pushes up higher. Delta there was a little weak, -2. I was hoping that was going to be stronger so I can catch that pattern that I was showing you guys. So there's a breakout V3 continuation right here, BV3C. It's currently running. I'm looking for the delta here to pick up. Once the delta picks up a little more, it may continue to push in that direction. Volatility is just not really, it's just not there. The ATR is currently at 16. It's not super low, but it's also not high either. It's for the most part flat. Price is pushing up. Let's see what it looks like on the clean chart. We're still considering this consolidation phase right now, or not consolidation in a range. We're in a sideways market right now, regarding market structure. I'm going to save this so we have this in the future. So what I would personally like to see here is I would like to see a fake out, like price to pull back below, and then really break out through this area. Once we have that, I can mark this area as a possible breakout area for price. Right, it's not there yet, but possibly. It's still going sideways right now. So breakout, sideways, breakout, sideways. There we go, the fake out that I just talked about. So there's two different things that may happen here. If this candle comes down very strong, this can possibly push back down to the lower range. If it doesn't and it stays below here, we might get a fake out to the downside and then a correction back to the upside. But I mean, either way, the market here is just, I mean, it's pretty flat, so there's not too much to work with. So I'm going between charts here to show you guys the differences, but this is still considered a sideways market right now. Market structure here is still sideways until we get a confirmation of a possible breakout in either direction, or if we get a directional push, then we can start looking for those types of entries. But right now, market is still going sideways. Man, this December sucks. The market structure for this December is not super great. Usually December is kind of slow, but not this early in the month. Like it starts to slow down like probably next week or the week after because we get closer to Christmas. But let's see, how much longer till Christmas? We got about 15 days till Christmas. So we still got a full week next week. And then we got a full week next week, and then we have Christmas like the week after. So yeah, it's gonna be a little and then the week after that we have New Year's. So we have 2 full weeks of trading until the holidays. Or yeah, this week and the next week basically. And it's Christmas. Yeah, this December is pretty flat. So again, right here, there's no movement, as you guys can see. It's kind of just still sitting there. All right, so we have price breaking the structure right here. If this candle is like a big green candle, then this could be a possible start of the breakout. The only thing that you want to be looking out for here is things like the we got the sessions up here. There's a lot of liquidity sitting up here though, so it's also something to keep in mind. Ton of liquidity right there. Let's see, Sam said, no, sir, not for me. Got lucky 70 pips, done and done. Glad I checked your previous videos. Nice work, Sam. Yeah, no, definitely. You know, if you can find the like Sam here, looks like Sam likes to trade support resistance, but he also uses my V1 variation patterns to have a confluence for entry. So Sam actually caught this right here. I wouldn't say that was lucky, Sam. I think that was skill, honestly, because you saw the V1 before I even looked at it. So you used your skill there to identify that there was a V1 variation, and then you identified it also as a support level. So that gives you two big confluences, right? Support, reversal pattern, it's likely to push to the upside. So I would call that skill. I wouldn't say that's necessarily lucky. You know, you used your knowledge to your advantage, whether it be the stuff that I'm teaching or the stuff that you already know, and you locked in 70 points. So nice work. Yeah, Sam said it's going to eat upper liquidity, but not risking that. Yeah, I could see it happening. Like that's kind of what I'm looking for here. But you know, like I said earlier, it's just there's just not enough volatility in the market for me to like take those types of moves. So like until we have something that's like very cut and dry and we know for sure that's going to happen, then I'm probably going to sit tight and wait a little bit. So I'm looking for the fake out here to play through. Still hasn't done anything yet. I'm just looking for that big candle. But we just don't have that. Okay, so I was hoping this year would drop a little lower so that I could push up higher, but not really the case here. Yeah, so like we just said, you know, or just like we talked about, yeah, price looks like it wants to eat this upper liquidity. There's so many levels of liquidity right here, right? There's one right here, there's one right here. There's a lot of levels of liquidity. The only problem is that we have the sessions, which are right here. This is like a session sandwich. We have the Asia low, the New York low, the Asia high up here. So even though price might come up and try to trigger all of this liquidity, the problem is that there's so many red flags here where price can easily just fake out. Price will push up, fake out, push up, fake out, push up, fake out. Um, yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a tough setup. It's definitely a bit of a tough setup. So this could be a possible. I mean, it's right at the Asia low. So we just hit liquidity right there, but it's right at the Asia low right now. Going back to our clean chart here. So looks like we might be moving out of the nah, it's not very strong. Looks like we might be moving out of this consolidation range, but it's just not very strong. If it was a little stronger, then yeah, but it looks like it might just pull right back in. This consolidation range right here. Fake out, pull back in. Unless we had a confirmation of the breakout. The only problem, like I said earlier, is that this whole area here is it's just a tough area to be trading in. We got the sessions right here. Price is currently sitting at the Asia low, purple line right there. Let me shake off, clean up this liquidity so you guys can see things better. You see how price is having trouble getting past this purple line? I mean, this is considered red flag. This is why we don't trade around these areas. Because price tends to get manipulated right then and there. All right, so looking at this here, I'm looking at the footprint order flow. Never mind. That's not strong enough. I was looking to see if we had that staircase move. We had a 112 delta, 49, 33, and it went back down to 19 here. So here he goes, price pulls right back into this lower area. All right, still no confirmation there. I just started to see. Trying to see these patterns off these whole numbers. Here it is now. Let me go over here to yesterday's market. Like those breakout patterns are interesting. There's nothing going on right now, guys, so don't worry. You're not missing out on anything here. Whoops, what did I do? I was just looking to see how price broke structured here. Hmm. It's kind of interesting. I'm able to see these like reversals here. Just trying to see if this would. Okay. Yeah, it seems like I figured something out here. So I'm basically looking for like these weak breaks in big candle but weak, right? Interesting. All right, I'm gonna like so I'm gonna use that. So like looking at this right here, if this candle closes above it, I'm probably gonna expect it to come back down a little bit for retracement. So I was trying to see this pattern here that I noticed when price breaks above certain areas. So like typically when I see like a weak break like this, like well, I wouldn't consider this a weak break, but and this is to help identify like fake outs basically. So whenever I see this candle like push up past structure like that, and it's not like, like I said earlier, you want to see the body above to be bigger than the body below. It typically sets up for a fake out. It might push up a little bit and then come back down. But if it's like big, then you probably expect it to push up higher. But we'll see. I mean, this is kind of tricky because this goes against like there's like all the liquidity sitting up here. So there's going to be different factors like that setup that I was just referring to. That's good when there's like not a ton of liquidity sitting up here, but because there's a ton of liquidity sitting up here, it makes it a little tricky because price does want to push up and grab all the liquidity that we were talking about earlier. So I'm just going to keep looking at those type of patterns and see if like if it actually confirms anything. Because you can see right here, obviously it didn't work out. But that's the pattern that I was looking for. Because I was just looking down here, and I think it's got to be weaker, like something like this. Price broke the structure, but the body above was like super big, the body below was like super small, and then it swung that way. And then vice versa. Price, uh, did the same thing right here, broke above, then it came back below. I'm basically looking for the weak breaks, either the weak breaks or the strong breaks, because it tends to like usually go the other way. You can kind of choose a direction that way. But again, here goes the liquidity that we were talking about, me and Sam. All this liquidity here is getting wiped out. Like I said earlier, it's going to have trouble getting past the area because of the sessions. But you can see price is trying to come and grab all the liquidity up here. Let's see. Sam said, I'm planning to sell around 44,470. What do you think, Sean? Let's see. 44.70. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. If you see a fake out around this, I would wait for like a confirmation of a drop back down. But if you do get a nice confirmation of a, like where the power starts to drop, then I would think that's a good area. I would look at the footprints over here. So check out the order flow. And so if you start to see the sellers get in control right here, then it'd be a good area to be trading in. I think the footprints are good for confirmation and confluence, but not necessarily by itself. So right here, you can see the delta is still positive and it's starting to swing negative. So it's now negative 37. I would look for a staircase to the downside. So it's negative 32 right now. I'd look for like maybe a negative 40 or negative 50. And then if you have like 2 or 3 candles that confirm, then I would expect it to come back down further. But right here, you can see it's not really holding. It's actually staying pretty strong. Delta's 40. You can see the buyers are in control right now. There's 21 sell orders, 56 buy orders. So I haven't taken anything today, guys, unfortunately. Yeah, I haven't taken anything. I've just been waiting for, market to do something. It's been kind of a slow week for me. I took a trade yesterday. We took a loss for the breakout, but then the breakout today won. So that would have, overall today would be net profit for all breakouts if you guys took all the breakouts. I didn't take this one, so unfortunately this one doesn't count for my profits, but it'd be net positive for the breakouts this week so far because we had a loss yesterday, win today. That cover yesterday's loss was 50 points. This was a 100-point win, so it would cover the loss plus profit on top of it. All right, Sam, so let's check out your reversal down here. So I would be careful. I mean, I think like your idea is great. I think your idea of like price coming down from the 470, I could see that happening because it looks like price here is ready to pull back. The only problem is that I don't think this is going to full on reverse. I'm looking over here at the delta footprint for the order flow, and it just doesn't show that there's enough sellers in control right now. I mean, there's sellers right here. The buyers are starting to get weaker, but it just doesn't really show that they're in control. Yeah, Rashida said move your stop and profit and let it run. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I would do. So if you're in profit already at 470, I would move your stop loss maybe to like 460 and then just let it play through. Just let it run. That's probably your best option there. So the sellers are starting to get in control here, Sam. So if you're in that position, it's actually starting to look pretty nice. We have a sell signal. Delta is negative 79. But again, the delta here is pushing right back up. The buyers are not letting up so easily. So like for me, I don't like to get in at the very top or at the very top or the very bottom. I like to look for continuation. I was really hoping to take a scalp today, but I just didn't see anything that I would personally want to take. I'm gonna turn off my laptop. I don't think I'm gonna take anything today, guys. We're right in between the session sandwich like we talked earlier, so there's not really much to work with here. Here's a clean chart. All right, so we have 2 things here that may play out. We went from breakout to sideways, breakout to sideways. This is either going to be confirmed as a breakout, or it's going to be confirmed as directional. So you can see our price pushed up. It's retracing down. If it pushes up higher from here, then we would consider this a directional pattern. Right? So market structure shifted from possible sideways to directional. You'll see the market's never going to be exact. It's never going to be super clean. But so if we could get past this high area right here, see how price pushed up. If it pushes past this area and closes above this area here, we can consider this directional. And once you consider that directional, you can start looking for directional entries. But just looking at the market for today, we didn't really have much of a directional market. Market opened right here at 630. So if you measure where price has moved since market open, it's only moved about 30 points. Price came down here about 155 points for the breakout and then recouped the drop, and now it's at 36 points. So it's not really, we didn't really have much directional move since market open. Market opened right here on this big red candle. Yeah, so Sam said he's risk-free. So I'm assuming you move your stop loss pretty close to this area right here, right, Sam? Probably like 465 to cover like expenses, like costs and stuff. So if that's the case, then I think that's a good area to have your stop in place, because if it pushes up, then it's going to invalidate your analysis. But if it pushes down, you know, you made a ton of profit from there. So I think you're solid. Again, so if I'm gonna clean this up, guys. Look where price is currently sitting at the sessions, right? This is exactly what we were worried about. Like, we knew price was probably gonna push up and knock out liquidity, but again, the thing here that was really in the way was the fact that price is gonna be stuck here at the sessions. So not much there. Now again, we just gotta wait for some sort of confirmation. Nice. Yeah, Sam said he's taking some profit on his way as well. Yeah, that's solid. All right, so we haven't had that confirmation of price break structure here yet. So this might be considered. I'll see if it breaks above. So it's pushing. It's almost there. All right. So price is still pushing up. It's trying to get to that level. There's a ton of liquidity sitting right here. We have a sell momentum. Buy signal hasn't came up yet. So I'm still looking for those setups, like the same setup that we talked about the other day, guys. Where we get a momentum signal and it's followed by like 3 staircasing footprints or order flow. We just haven't had those come up yet. I mean, because there hasn't been very much direction. So we had a buy signal here, 28, 44. Actually, there was one right here and I totally missed it. So there was a buy signal right here that happened at 716. And it actually staircased right here. So we had 37, 30, 37, 89, 109. The entry would have happened right here on this specific candle. It wouldn't have hit the full 30 yet, I don't think. Eventually it did, though, it looks like. Or it's still running right now. So it's still running right now. I mean, it's almost at its TP for 30 points. But this is a setup that we've been kind of looking to see happen in real time. I just wasn't paying attention to this time right here, but we had a buy signal. The delta over here confirmed we had 37 delta, 89, 109. It's a staircase move to the upside with regard to footprint. And then on the open of this next candle, this is where the entry would have happened. And I think this is probably going to hit. So this is probably going to push up a little higher. It hasn't hit its TP yet, but it's almost there. It's about, I mean, it's still like halfway there. It got really close to TP right here, but it didn't push all the way through. So from what I've seen from my data, it shows that it's probably going to hit. I mean, it almost hit right here on the previous candle. Looks like it's going to hit here on this one. The delta just needs to push up, and there you go, full TP on that entry. Man, I can't believe I missed this. I've been waiting all week for this for this specific setup. But you guys can see it works pretty well, and you can do it 1 to 2. So I think instead of, well, I mean, I'll still look at breakout V3 continuations, but I think these entries are like way more valuable. They just don't happen very often, but when the market's moving directional, you see them more often than not. So sell signal. Yeah, no entry. Because it's pretty nice. Like I can probably take these entries and then go pretty nice on contract size. I'd probably increase my contract size to 15. So 15 times 5 times 15, that's 1,125 loss, or profit potential is double that, 2,250. Like I wouldn't mind just waiting for this here to come up because it comes up. It just takes a matter of time until it does. But yeah, I think for my scalps, I might just wait for these to come up because if I could find one of these good entries per day, or even two, I mean, this is I think it's worth the wait for the most part. And it's so easy because you're just focused on like momentum signal. So I'll start looking for these types of entries. This is basically a breakout V3 order flow. That's kind of what I would call it because it's literally a breakout V3. So we have a breakout right here. The breakout V3 actually would have happened down here if you wanted to take just, straight up breakout V3. But I feel like if you wait for this type of setup, your odds of hitting are way more likely than not. So I'll implement this into our game plan moving forward. I try to look at it on here, but it's hard to see on a smaller chart like this. There might be another one here setting up actually. Buy signal, 33 delta. Depending on what this delta is, if it's above 33, like around 40, that'd be good. And then the following delta after that. So liquidity here got knocked out, guys. If you guys took any of those liquidity pushes, there's a ton of liquidity entries that came up today. Yeah, I mean, they all played out pretty nice. There's another breakout V3 continuation that happened right here too. Buy signal followed by a green candle. So like I said, these breakout V3 continuations can work too, but I think the order flow is it's just way more accurate. So I haven't taken any entries today, guys. I didn't even take the breakout, even though the breakout hit full TP. I had to sit out on that trade because of the risk off plan that I was following. So unfortunately, I didn't take any entries today. Looks like the market was decent. It was decent with regard to the breakout, and it was decent with regard to a couple entries that came up, but I haven't taken any entries today because of the market structure. You guys can see we've been following the market structure throughout the day. Price did break the structure. So now that we're currently bullish right now, we're now in a directional move. So now you guys can see the differences between market structure, right? We went from a breakout here on open to a sideways market to a breakout here, small breakout into sideways move, and then now directional push. So now at this point, you can start looking for market flow V2s. You can look for, breakout V3 continuations, pivot scalps, whatever we covered yesterday during the live session or during the mentoring session. Basically all those entries that we looked at, you can apply all of them right now. Market flow V2, MPS, breakout V3 continuation, V1 variation, pivot scalp, high-low scalp, triple confluence, and liquidity push. If you guys didn't see this, we covered liquidity push yesterday. This is one of the strategies that a lot of you have been asking for. Initially, I didn't want to teach it because it's more of an advanced strategy, but it is explained in the mentoring session. So if you guys haven't seen the mentoring session, just go to the YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/Kodi Kai trades. And then once you go here, just scroll down and go to the most recent mentoring session right here from 15 hours ago. I covered pretty much all of these directional strategies in detail, and I explained the different strategy types: directional, sideways, breakout. All right, guys, 7:50 right now. We're getting close to 8 o'clock. The volatility here is starting to get really low. Actually, it's very low right now. It's currently at 13 ATR, so not expecting much to happen from here until 8. Unfortunately, I didn't take any entries for today. The good thing is that our entries did hit TP. So if you guys didn't see the entries that hit for today, the breakout did hit full TP here for 100 points. And then there was a bunch of little scalps here that came up as well. If you guys did follow through with the trades for today. So I'm going to wrap it up for the day, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, if you guys want to keep trading, feel free to keep trading, but I would probably be careful because the market volatility is probably going to flatten out. You can see we went here from a breakout to sideways to breakout to sideways to now directional. What happens after directional? Sideways, right? So once the market stops trending, it's going to go into a sideways market. And that's probably what I'm going to expect to happen here around 8 o'clock, because that's where the volatility starts to slow down a little bit. So again, the green line's a breakout move, sideways move, breakout move, sideways move, directional push. And then it's going to go into sideways now as price continues to go here. And I'll keep trying to make things more efficient for you guys. Whenever I see things that will help you guys understand the market a little bit more. I know not everybody here can see what I'm seeing, because for me, it's easy. I just look at the market. I'm like, okay, obviously breakout, sideways, breakout, sideways. But now I'm color coding them so that you guys can see exactly what's happening in the market, so that you know when to take a trade and when not to take a trade, when to apply certain strategies and when to not. Because obviously the market's always going to move in a certain type of structure, but it's going to be moving from structure to structure to structure. So as long as you're on your toes, you'll be ready to catch that next move that comes up. Yeah, no problem, Sam. You killed it today. Nice work on catching, both of those moves, the V1 variation earlier, and then also the swing down from this upper level right here. But all right, guys, I'm going to put the totals right here, and then, or not totals, I'm just going to put like whatever entries came up for the day. And then we'll wrap it up. So for today, there's 2 high-low momentum scalps. Or we'll put like for liquidity push, there was a ton of liquidity pushes, like 9 of them. High-low momentum scalps. Triple confluence, 2 BB3s, and 1 high-low scalp. Breakout B3 situation, 2 wins. Triple conf. There's actually a lot of entries that came up today. It was just I wasn't paying attention to a lot of them because of the structure. I want to get caught in these fake outs. So pretty good amount of entries that showed up today. I didn't take any entries today, but I mean, there's a pretty good amount that showed up. Breakout over here, full TP, and a lot of these little scalps here along the way. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. For the session tomorrow, I will be taking the breakout. So